Hello. I wanted to do a little bit of an update style thing on what's been going on. If I sound a bit weird, it's because I recently got my wisdom teeth removed. So it's been a lot of swelling. So if I sound a bit funny, that's why. Um, I'm not playing on CRT right now. I'm playing on emulator. At least, like for the time being, I plan on getting a power pack and or EverDrive to start practicing on, because I've really seen that the benefit of using save states and being able to get to like each fight and being able to practice an individual fight over and over again, and not having to do something like fight Honda every time that I can get to him. But anyway, yeah. Here's my progress though. So, Glass Joe, 95%. I think 95% or higher, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think that as long as I'm paying attention and I don't forget how much I've counted, and I'll when I'm counting to 22, then I will not. I'm not gonna fail. I won't fail Glass Joe. I think it's higher than 95% of the time I'm getting him. Von Kaiser. I get him about 90% of the time, I would say. I think 90 or 95% for him too. It's the same with Joe. As long as I'm counting, and focusing, I won't mess up. The one thing that is, it's a little bit of a variable with Von Kaiser, a little bit of a wrench in the mix. Is with Von Kaiser, there's a point where it's not a buffer. It's you just have to dodge, and you have to wait for the star sound to dissipate, and then you dodge, and that's something that I messed up a lot in the beginning, and I don't mess up much anymore, but sometimes I do, and I dodge right into his punch, and obviously that ruins the strat. So it could be higher, though. I just need to work on it, but yeah, I would say about 90%. I think that's fair. Piston Honda, I would say around 75 or 80%, which is, a lot less, but I think I'm getting him around every 4 out of 5 times I get him. So that feels good. The only thing that I struggle with in that fight, I always beat him, but getting the strats correctly, on the third phase, right, he doesn't have a lot of health left. And what you need to do is you need to go for guard manipulation, and sometimes I mess up the guard manipulation timing, and it's not really that hard. I just mess it up because I'm not paying attention, or I just don't have the timing right yet, So that's something I need to work on. Don Flamenco, the fourth fight of the game, is the one I've done now. And I can get him about 90 or 95% of the chance easy. It's not a hard fight. It's easier than, I think it's about as easy as Glass Joe is, if not easier. All you do for the basic strat is you immediately buffer a gut punch into a left dodge into basically just punching left right with face punches over and over and over again, and the designers of the game put that in. It's an infinite combo, so you can knock him out, and I knock him out with that. And there's another strat that I will learn later for a frame perfect star punch into a knockout, which I'll learn it later. For now, I'm just trying to get to where I can fight the first 7 fights of the game. And then for his Don Flamenco's second phase, you literally just buffer 4 gut punches in a row, and that takes him out. So it's pretty easy. Yeah. 5th fighter of the game, King Hippo. I've worked on King Hippo, and I think I can get Hippo about 60% of the time. And it's only not because he's hard, it's just because I haven't practiced him enough. I'm not going to explain. I'll explain it, actually, yeah. In that strat, you begin by going for right, 3 right full dodges. And that should set, basically it's not because he's not punching you or anything. It's just trying to get the timing right. So you do 3 right full dodges and do a left face, is there left or right face punch? Let me think. Left face punch, I think. If I had the controller in front of me, I could do it. And a left face punch. And if it might not be, I don't remember. And if he opens his mouth, which he does about, I think it's about 3/8 of the time, so a little bit less than half. I think I think the guy said, Sinister One said, it's about 37% chance that he'll open his mouth. If he opens his mouth, then you're basically lucky and you get to do a full, like what's called a cycle on hippo. And you get the cycle early. But if he doesn't open his mouth, which he probably won't, then you just continue the strat as normal, which is you run out of hearts so that you're in the tired state. And then when you're in the tired state, hippo always goes into the same pattern where he does like one punch and then another punch, and then he goes for a big punch, and then that's kind of what he does. So this guy figured out the strat for this, for the pattern where you can do 5 right dodges, full dodges. 5 right full dodges into a left quick dodge, into a face punch, and that will land that will punch him in the face 100% of the time. And not only does it punch him in the face 100% of the time, if you do it correctly, you can hit him 9 times instead of 8, which is what you would normally do if you were to punch hippo in the face. Like you're not fast. You're simply not fast enough to punch him 9 times. So if you punch him 9 times instead of 8, you get what's called a 4-cycle hippo instead of, I think it's a 5-cycle hippo. If that makes any sense. So that's been really cool to learn about. So then you have to do that, obviously, for wherever you start. You do have to do that 3 more times after you've done it once, and all you do to do it again is you just keep punching him with a right gut punch or a left gut punch. I can't remember which, or even if it matters. I think it's a left gut punch because it's faster, and it saves 2 frames. You go for left gut punches, until you run out of hearts. You have to be counting to make, until you run out, and then once you run out, you immediately start doing the whole dodge sequence thing with 5 right dodges into a left quick dodge into a face punch. And then once you punch him 9 more times, another cycle, then you rinse and repeat, and then you punch him until you run out of hearts, and then you do the dodges again. Something I'm still working on, but you'll see it in action soon. I don't know if I'll have it by this afternoon. I mean, I'll have it by this afternoon if I can practice it this afternoon. But I don't know if I can practice it if I'm too busy. So at least by tomorrow, I would say I'll have it. So that's something. Yeah. Let me think. But yeah. So now I have Glass Joe pretty good, Piston Honda, Glass Joe, Von Kaiser, and Piston Honda pretty good, Don Flamenco pretty good. That's 4 fights of the game. And then I'm working on Hippo. So 5 fights. We're on the 5th fight. And I don't know what would happen if I were to do all of these fights in a row, but I think I could easily get at least 2 King Hippo consistently. No problem. Without much hiccup. I think I could get to Hippo blindfolded with all the strats correctly. Because I can obviously get to Hippo pretty easily because I know all the backups. But I can get to Hippo with strats probably, I don't know, a little bit more than 50% of the time. So that feels good. Anyway. But I'll be working on all of the fights individually. Probably not as much Joe anymore. When I was working on Von Kaiser, I would work on Glass Joe at the same time to make sure I'm buffering correctly. But now every fight involves buffering punches, so I'm training buffering punches on every single fight anyway. And all his fight is literally just buffering a bunch of punches. So, which is most of the fights. But yeah, it's a little bit less complicated than the others. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. And then after that, so here's the plan, right? Here's the plan for like the next, 2 or 3 weeks. Here's what I want to be able to do, right? I want to be able to beat the first 7 fights of the game. Well, let's not go that far. I want to be able to beat the first 6 fights of the game. So on the 5th right now, King Hippo. Great Tiger is apparently easy. There's an easy strat to learn that will just absolutely makes him very easy, which will be good to learn. So I'll get up to Great Tiger, and that'll be 6 fights of the game. And I want to I want to be able to do this consistently, and then I want to work on Bald Bull. And Bald Bull is like another level. Bald Bull's a little harder than any of the fights that I've done before by I think a pretty good margin. So I'm gonna get those 6 fights down, and then I want to practice that 7th fight. And I don't know if I'll have it or not by 2 or 3 weeks, but I hope to be pretty far into it. Maybe I'm underestimating myself, but I don't know. But basically what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to beat those. I want to be able to basically do like kind of like my own little runs, I guess, where I practice the first 7 fights of the game. Basically, that's the first half of the game because it's a 14 fight game, and then I'll just practice those first 7 fights over and over again until I feel like I have them consistently enough, and then I'll move on to the second half of the game, starting with Piston Honda 2. I think that's the plan. So today will be a little bit more Piston Honda, Don Flamenco, Von Kaiser, and who am I forgetting? Don Flamenco, King Hippo, Von Kaiser, and Piston Honda. A little bit more of each of those until I feel like I got them down good. And then if I'm feeling good enough with Hippo, then I'll move on to Great Tiger, and we'll learn his strats. And then we'll just kind of practice those 6 for a little while, like a day or 2. And then we'll move on if I feel good from there. It just depends on how fast I can learn Great Tiger. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating the strats for Great Tiger. But anyway, that's about it.